Okay, I'm here. I just gotta get this thing set up. As long as I fix the batteries, right? Okay, this is VIP Primo. And snow has finally come to GTA Racing, so I have a nice little chart here. I was originally like, why don't I record this? And I'm like, you know what? It's going to be easier just to stream it. See how that works. So yeah, so what's the plan today? We're going to go to the snow races. We're going to pull out all the cars. We're going to show you which cars are going to be the fastest out there. Basically reclassing all the cars, and I think you're going to be very interested in this. I'm actually thinking I'm going to start on muscle first. So the fastest muscle right now is the Vigoro ZX HSW, and then after that I'm going to go over to a Buffalo. We're going to see who is the fastest, so place your bets. And we're just going to use the track I always use, which is Grapeseed Circuit. I hope everybody's ready for a new year. I think what happened is that they forgot to flip the flag. So for the longest time we had snow, but we didn't have snow races, and they never do that. So I'm thinking they screwed up. Okay. So here's the Vigoro, which is very loose in the snow. I gotta mark this on my thing here. Oh. So before it did a 125.318, and I am doing this first because I'm absolutely afraid of what I'm gonna try with this car. It's hilarious. Oh, there it goes. I just passed it. I might end up babying a little bit just because that's how these cars are just nuts. Okay, wish me luck. I love the snow. I love all the stuff that's associated with this. It is just so much fun to drive in this. I'm telling you, if you want to be a next level racer, see what I'm saying? Like, we're already off. If you want to be a next level racer, learn how to race in the snow. Just to be able to recover from that alone, gave me hope. And I'm hoping I can focus while I'm driving, because this gets real crazy involved with some of these cars. It's right there. I can't even give it any gas without it throwing around. You would think the Vigoro would be a lot better in handling some of this than it is. But that's the thing is it has a lot to do with the way the flags are in the game. We'll also get to see the difference between snow and competitive racing here, so that's going to be interesting. We may actually, the thing is I was originally thinking too about testing some other weather events, but I just don't see the point, because the rest of them, other than snow, it just keeps going. Other than snow, which has that slippery effect to it, the rain's just going to basically slow the car down. It's going to cause traction differences and that kind of thing, but if you have good handling in one place, you have good handling in the other. The only real difference is if, for instance, this car is very fast, so it's going to break out a lot easier. If you can't go as fast as it will go, then that's what's going to basically limit your ability to spin out a little. But with the cars being so fast as they are today, it really doesn't count. You know what I mean? It doesn't work. So, but the goal here is to help you be the best snow racer in the world. We're going to teach you some interesting lessons here. I'm going to give away some trade secrets that you are not going to believe, which I think is funny. Like right now, people don't realize that HSW and all those cars, they mean absolutely jack crap right now. Especially in like the muscle class, where the fastest cars have probably some of the worst traction of all the cars out there, and HSW is just terrible and horrendous. I'm hoping if I don't get burnt out on this, and I get a lot of people that kind of jump on and want to see what this is all about, then I'll pull up the street racing cars and we'll test those. We'll try to figure out what is the best, like the Calico, the Growler, the Vector, or Vectra, and see which one of those handles too, because that in the pursuits and some of the other stuff, if you have the fastest car, it's broken how quick you are. It's such a minimalized, limited space. Like, in other words, the Sultan RS Classic, the Calico, the Vectra, they're very similarly competitive cars, depending on the track, obviously. But you'll get the gist of it when we do it here. Almost hit that bush. That would have hurt a little bit, but and that's it. I'm not trying to break any records here. I'm just driving the same way I would do competitively. You know, get some of these going in here, and then get into some regular races maybe too. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. If we get anything going here, I'll tag in. If not, you know what? I can always upload this and repost it as a video, and yeah, you guys can enjoy it that way. So yeah, the handling in this, you have to really get way ahead of the thought process of when you're going to brake and everything. That's my other problem. I'm not really paying a ton of attention. Because I'm talking at the same time, but I'm going to try to get at least one good lap out of each car. It's the thing I like. It's so weird because I both like and dislike the Vigoro, especially with its HSW stuff. As a non-HSW car, it's nothing. It's a piece of junk. With the HSW stuff put on, there's a lot more power or pronouncement with it that it can be competitive, but it's just a handful, and it is the fastest muscle. I was doing a driving event, like who's the fastest, and drove the farthest or something without hitting somebody, I think it was, in one of the online competitions, and I had the Pegasus one from the Cayo Perico heist, which has jets on it. So I was like, you know what, I'm already in this, let's just go. I was going around the map, and he was able to catch up with me. The guy that won was able to catch up with me in this thing without having to boost at all. He was actually outrunning me while I was boosting. So it's a really fast car, but it's unruly even in regular settings. Just doesn't have the power and the what do you call it? The handling stuff that goes with the power that it's producing. And that just makes it like it's a pain to drive. So it's like, I'm going to do the muscle. Okay, well, you know, it'll based on I got to take this car, so I'm going to take it, and I got to be beat up by it, and then hopefully the next guy that's racing with me, if he brings it out, which most of the times they don't, then I got to actually be in a competition against somebody fighting this thing the whole way through. So yeah, I hope everybody is enjoying their awesome holiday season. It has been a blast for me. I got a new gaming chair for a Lamborghini, so that was a blast. Secret Labs, finally got my first Secret Labs. Everybody's mad at me because I went cheap all the time, but it is what it is. So originally this was a 125 per lap car. So let's see what it is now. $136. 136.363. Okay, hopefully. Yes, good. All right. Now I'm going to do the Buffalo STX first. If the Buffalo can outrun the other one, we may not do the Weevil, which will save me some time. Traffic off, yes. I don't even know if you can do traffic in this. Okay, so we got a 136.363, and the Buffalo is going to have to beat that. So place your bets. Can the Buffalo? Yeah, that other one was a 125 to 136, and the Buffalo, let's see if we can get to it before it starts. It was a 128. So this was 3 seconds slower than the Vigoro when we actually tested it in regular testing. So how's it going to do against this one? And this is really a decider one because that's an HSW car, and this is going to be against basically the snow. And let's see who's getting the faster one, and that will be the decider. If this, I don't think the Weevil can do anywhere near this. It just doesn't have the turning radius in the snow to be competitive. Maybe in a straight line race it could do it, and I know it would do okay. The funny thing is it would definitely beat the Buffalo, not by a lot, but it would definitely beat the Buffalo if the snow wasn't here. But with the snow here, this is going to change the entire dynamic of this race. And the difference in grippiness is incredible. If you can't already see it, like it's not that I'm like perfectly on the road compared to the Vigoro, but because this car will break out because it just goes fast. But it's not fighting me at all. I hear some banging over there though. Remember how I was losing control of that first turn? Dove right into that. So right now, what do we got? 131. So when it's first lap through, oh shit. Okay, so I'm looking at the screen there, and I realize I think we did a 136 before I even. That's why I dove over. I'm like, okay, we just did a 136, I think, on our tester lap. So we're gonna have a wasted lap here, but that's okay because it was worth looking over and going like, was that serious? Did we just do it already? I'm like, yeah, I think we did. So for muscle, I am going to be quickly under the impression that the Buffalo STX is the king. Now, I'm going to do with the one for sports. I think people are kind of be into that one. That's the one that really people are going to put money down on. Like how close, because that'll be the Sterling GT HSW versus the Italy GTO versus the Issy Sport. So yeah, it's going to be serious. But the one I think that everybody's going to be kind of shocked is going to be the coupe class. I don't know, and I haven't run it, so I don't know what it's going to be like. But I kind of like, if this is what we got here, I think I have a good idea of what's going to happen in those other races. And the other one is we're going to test. It's going to be the Shafter V12, which I think will stink. I think it'll be the worst car ever on the track. Yes, clean lap. It's going to be between the Reinhardt Shafter V12 and there's a guy I love, Cinquemelia. I can't pronounce that thing, so I don't care. Whoa. Rein it in. I'm paying attention to two different things, so I will get to the chat in a second. I'll have to address it between laps because it's not in my direct line of sight. Oh, I have a regular horn on this thing? Ugh. I got a good feeling about this. I don't even see what we did on the second lap, but I'm going to pay attention to this one. I just love the feel of the Buffalo STX. I'm kind of upset, and I said this in one of the other videos about the HSWs. I'm kind of upset because the HSWs kind of broke everything, and it was supposed to be, I don't know, they could have handled it a lot better. That's Rockstar's thing. It's kind of, what do you do? You know, you just like, is there a way for people to spend more money on stuff? And it's, I want to say that's not how it works. You didn't have to go super crazy on tuning options. You know what I mean? Like, you could have just said, okay, yeah, it is what it is, and done that. But it's not what they did. They went nuts, broke the cars, made everything super fast, made the handling awful, so it was miserable to drive them, and really just makes me want to turn HSW off. And the worst part is I don't join. The game hates me. It just doesn't give me players to play with. Like, if I'm on, I'm like, can you send me some players? I never get any. I don't know how you guys do it. I have friends that just, all they have to do is turn on their Xbox and like 5 people message them and say they want to play. It doesn't work like that for me. But yeah, that's the thing is I'm joining these randoms and they always have it on. So it's like, if you're gonna have it on, I'm gonna race it. So I think we might just move this back down to 4 laps for the rest, because with the snow, it's so much easier to kind of determine where a car is. And I'm used to doing it with 5 laps. So please forgive me for the amount of space that I'm taking up with these. And I have a trusty little form over to the right to me that says the difference between each race and how it did originally, how it's going to do in the end game, and then I'm going to have to write stuff down. Oh, we got another lap. See what I'm saying? It's a little bit long. I know that we've already determined kind of where we're going to land out here. And that's really the goal. We're not getting crazy. We're just going to find out where each car lands. Buffalo STX. My, how the HSW have made you fall from grace. But I'm thinking it's going to get its revenge while the snow is still on the ground. It's so weird how that turn, you can kind of just roll with it in the snow versus normally it's like I want to get on the inside of it, but doing it the way I'm doing it, I'm carrying a lot more energy into the turn, so I'm just like, I'll do this. $23, 24, 8 minutes. Yeah, see, it's way too long. I may even just jump it down to 3. What the heck? Might as well. So what do we got? The other one was 136.363. And this will be 134. So there you go. If you want a muscle race, you know what to do. As everybody else is slipping and sliding out in the snow, you will be in your trusty Buffalo GTX winning races, which I think is going to be cool. So I'll do 4 here, and we're going to do sport. This is the one I think everybody is... Let's do 3. Do that, so that we can get it close. I don't want to spend the whole day on here. It's 8 minutes a car. That adds up quick. But, so the first one we're going to do... Yeah, let's do Sterling GT. There we go. Look at that bad boy. Okay. So that was originally a 122.932. And yes, that is faster than what we originally tested. Let's see how it does in the snow. Oh, it's already getting squirrely. And that's the beauty of these with the HSW kind of thing. The Weevil we know, but with this one, the next one's going to be the Italy GTO. And that one should have a lot better grip. So it'll be very interesting to see how they line up, because usually, like with the Weevil, we had a car with the Weevil Custom. So with the Weevil Custom, the wide body version or whatever they would call it, that one has a lot less handling. So you move that car up and it's just tons of speed, not a lot of loss of handling. So with this changeover, the non-HSW car is going to have a lot of handling. And in fact, a lot of people do, on very, very grippy tracks, will use the Italy GTO to continue to be competitive. And it is kind of competitive when it comes to HSW, just because of its prowess. But the thing is it's kind of faux handling. And then versus the Issy Sport, which is a handling monster, the second fastest off-road car, which is just crazy because it's a sport. But yeah, just an amazing car. So can it usurp, really I think what's going to come down to for me is going to be if the Issy Sport can overcome the Italy GTO. Because I can already tell by this, the car is not, the Sterling's not really holding its grip on the ground. It wants to pull its momentum forward to wherever it's going, and when you turn it, it really kind of fights you. But I already can tell we get good laps on this stuff because we really aren't going as fast as we normally go. A lot of the problems these cars have is actually corrected because you're not going as fast as you would in a normal race. And I think that's the funny part, because I was saying before that people race these and they don't realize how fast and competitive they are. And if you want to be fast and competitive, if you can do it in the snow, you can do it anywhere. So you get a car like the other one, and here it is, you're going slow. It's actually more competitive to drive the right car here than it is to actually drive the car everybody thinks is going to be the fastest. And it's basic quality of driver versus quality of car. Obviously, if you took whatever the Ford GT is in this game against weaponized Ignis, yeah, sure, it's not actually the way I'm thinking, but yeah, the way when you get cars like an Italy GTO versus this versus whatever, it's a whole different monster. And it really does show up in the snow, because for me, this is so much easier than driving it at full speed, where I would make a ton of mistakes in general, and just, everybody makes mistakes. Try to be as consistent as possible, but it's just going to happen if you're pushing it. But, yeah, you're going to make less mistakes because you're not really going as fast as you think you are. And I'm noticing that even with the HSW mods, it doesn't want to drift as much, I say, as it goes around that corner sideways. See, like that, you just go dive right in and try to keep it as straight as possible so you can deliver a ton of speed. See, that's the thing. I would love to bet on this, but I really am not sure between the GTO and the Issy Sport which is going to take the faster tick. I just know this is having issues in braking, so it is not going to be. I don't think this is going to be the car. And this is it, third lap. Can we pull anything out? I think it's a 135. Originally it was a 122. The snow has brought it to a 135. So what is it? 135.264. Okay, so the next, we didn't do the Weevil Custom. Where is it? Oh, yeah, there it is. Cool. Trying to find the Issy Sport. Go. It was on page 2. Okay, so here we go. 3 laps, sports. Okay, and we're going to be at the GTO. And I think it's funny that we did Urus, Sterling. That's not math. That's not good alphabet, because it's not supposed to be in this class for one. And then let's see, there's ESE, so we'll go back one to do that. Okay. This originally did a 122.451. I know, I gotta do the math again on this. I almost want to say it's snowing on top of snowing here. I don't know what that means, but I don't know if it's gonna hurt it. Oh, you know what? I probably set it to morning. Oh well. Thankfully, I know the track. So, will the Issy Sport beat the Italy GTO? First lap's always a crapshoot, so. And I forgot which lap I got to beat. Brakes didn't work on that. And by that, I mean I did not use them. look, this track looks so weird with a morning view. It does look very nice, but it's also kind of disturbing. Like with the snow and everything, it has that monster show vibe to it. Okay. Trying to dodge down and look to see what the score was or what the time I had to beat. I only got 3 laps though. It's taking me about probably 5 minutes. That was interesting. I kind of overcorrected a little bit and then it just decided it was going to go sideways. Didn't slow it down though. I hope I'm on point for these races. So yeah, the goal today is just we're gonna figure out what's best for the snow racing. I'm gonna basically give you something so that you can watch it. I don't want to make this video too crazy long, so originally I did the 5 laps. I should have done 3, but maybe, like you said, maybe I'll take it down and do a little bit of editing and go from there. But yeah, something quick that you guys can watch that will allow you to figure out what's the fastest. So when you're going to snow and you pick up your HSW car and you go, "Hey, I'm going to do this," you'll say, "Oh, maybe that's not a good idea." Because I think that's what I'm going to hear a lot of here. I don't even think I'm going to try with the Brioso if we get to that part, because that thing is a mess. And in the snow, it'll be even worse. For compacts, I just think the BF Club is going to take that, because that's its wheelhouses. It's not the perfect grip car, but it's so solid that it doesn't have any issues. And I think it's funny too, there's areas in here that I can get so much closer to those apexes because the car isn't going as fast as it would be if I was actually testing it or testing it in the dry weather. Look at that light going on the roadway. I try to remember these times. That's the tough part. Come on, do this right. Yeah, that was what I'm talking about. That was perfect. A little bit of cut off the edge. I don't like doing that because it kind of cuts the turns, but I don't think it matters that much in snow. So 130. So I have a feeling that's going to knock 5 seconds off of the Sterling GT. Easily. Okay. So 130.976. The last one's the Issy. We got to beat a 130 with the Issy. And that was a 122 originally. That's crazy. And that battle's always really close between those two in the HSW. So I knew the HSW really didn't stand much of a chance if it can't. How many laps did I put this on? I hope 3. I gotta check. I'll just do 3 laps and then back out if I have to. All I want to do is figure this out. And then throw it into some races. Yeah, I did 5 laps. Oh well. We'll do 3 and then I'll back out, or I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Well, we'll just do the 5. To hell with it. Okay. The SE Sports gets a couple more moves. We can see over to the right there what the lap times are and have an idea where it's going to be. I can already tell this car is going to want to go faster, but it may not have. I can already tell that the top speed of this is not as solid as I'd like it to be, but it doesn't seem to be held back as much. So yeah, gonna be interesting. 130 is the time to beat, and I'm saying we probably have to get a 129 to really put a nail in this coffin. I'll just look down at the times down there. I think we can figure that out. It says 129. We got it. And I can actually slow down the frames later, pull the video and chalk it up and see what I got for times. Oh, that thing wanted to turn. 25. I don't know. I don't think it's going to make it. Nope. That's a 130. So it's got to make up a ton. It's got 134 for the lap there. 134. This thing's got to really hoof it around here right now. You can't make any mistakes. And even then, I don't think it's got a chance. I think it's going to be like maybe a second or so short. Such a fluid car, though. It's so fun to drive. It just breaks my heart that this thing is not fast on the regular road. And I mean, Rockstar's thing about having broken cars, you're like, hey, here's a car that you can take to the off-road, and it is extremely fast. And it's not going to beat the Draugr, which is crazy enough in sport. So here's a car that's a rally car that can't beat the Draugr. Like, come on, guys. But it doesn't do as well on open road versus some more performance-oriented cars. And I don't know. I could see it not beating the Italy GTO or something like that, but like this thing feels very GT-oriented, you know? Yeah, I'm not feeling this. 6, 27, 28, 29, 30, 21. Nope. Well, we'll do this one last lap here. It's 2 seconds behind. I had hope, but I don't think it's going to do it. I think the Italy GTO has got this in the bag. It's too bad we don't kind of do this for regular testing and stuff, you know? But it'll be very interesting to have the stuff written down and just say, hey, right now this is where the testing went. I think that if we comparatively put it to cars and say, here's the fastest on each one, especially with the off-roading, then no matter what class we're put into, we'd have a good idea of where it is. And I have done no SUV testing. How sad is that? And I have, what is it, the fastest one, I think? I don't know how I think the new one that's coming out has the potential to be the fastest. We'll see. But yeah, I haven't done an SUV race in, I think the word years comes up. There was one that we did a while back. I was like this guy that had like 24,000 wins and, you know, like 1,000 losses, something stupid like that. So I was like, okay, we'll see how this goes. Usually you see something like that, it's not legitimate. But he was fast. It didn't look like he had cheated to be fast. He was just really, really fast. And he had done that. He had used, you know, a different car and knew what he was doing against the competition. So it was very interesting. Okay, so yeah, no, I'm still racing. I was going to stop it, and then I'm like, oh, I just want to see what it gets. Because it just feels so good driving, you know? And the thing is, I've seen a lot of people running different kinds of cars, especially some of the winning guys running these different cars. Really makes me wonder, like, are certain people that much faster, or is there something to it? I know there's a lot of glitches that people can use, and I like to drive. I don't like to use any glitches. I don't like to use any of that stuff, and I don't know. But I think people kind of judge you for it, but it is what it is. I guess the wording is I get careless. If your life revolves around your win-loss, then hey, go for it. I did have fun with the races that we challenged for in the big series, which I thought was very cool because some of the racers that went real try hard on it ended up, the word is overqualify, so they'll go into a higher class and they all race together and there's no kind of real limit to it, so it's kind of like, you know, I don't care what you pick, just race. And so if anybody wants to, hey, you want to drive the fastest car, go for it, you know. Should have called it the Try Hard series. But but with the other competition, it was based on performance oriented stuff, so who performed well kind of thing. And there was limits to how fast people could go, or they got docked, or they could have gotten kicked out, or they got, you know, suspended or whatnot, you know, that kind of thing. It was totally different monsters, so it was very interesting. But and obviously everybody, there's people that, like, you know, oh, I want to play this because, you know, I'm going to detune my car and then drive like this, drive really crappy at the end, and then get on the track and race really fast. And it's like, you know what I mean? Nobody ever fooled you. It's that thing I don't get people. They think that they can pull a wool over your eyes, and it's like, I've been doing this for a very long time. Okay. It's just 131. Okay. That's what I want. I want to do the street racing series that we have coming up. You have to have enough people to do it. It's got to be a big event. See, yeah, that was, I mean, it's a second off, but we really had to work to get that up to that speed, which is, I didn't expect that. Okay, so I think the reason I'm not into testing the supers right now, the motorcycles is the Hakuchou drag. There's no beating that bike. There's just no way. The supers don't have anything that their dynamics change based on where they're at. So if it's a weaponized Ignis, it's a weaponized Ignis. So it just is what it is. Devesta 8. We tested the muscles. That puts us down to coupes. So let's do this. And I want to try... I'm going to try Reinhardt, I think, is in here, right? Is that that? Or is that the sedan? Let's see what we got here. Oh, okay, so it's not many. Okay, so we got the Sentinel XS and the Previan are the two fastest cars here. Interesting, okay. And I don't think I've ever tested these guys. So... I have written them in. And I love the Previan. The Previan is easily one of my favorite vehicles. See, I'm thinking 9 more minutes here. We should be good. Something like that. Or actually, no, because I got Reinhardt. and then the Shafter V12. But I think the Shafter V12 is going to give it up early. This is going to be interesting because the Sentinel XS is a very squirrely car, but I think it does fairly well. It's HSW mods because it was a solid car before. It just lacked the handling. And I'm just going to say this to Rockstar right up front is if you want to improve your HSW stuff, the stuff that they're doing right now is kind of afterthought, either on the HSW car or the same car non-HSW. So one car just stinks. Well, no, find the cars like an Entity XF or something and say, hey, that car, or like the SE Sport we just showed, that car is super handling wise, but it needs a lot of tuning. So if it tuned well, that car would be very, very, very competitive, and it would kind of dial in on its handling. So there's certain cars, and I'm not saying that from the aspect of, because you'd probably make a broken car out of that, but also the idea that there are cars that are slow, like the Schwarzer, that people would love to have go fast. They would love it to be competitive. But no, they picked the Hakuchou drag. That shouldn't even be in the series, like as a bike. I don't get it. Why would you do that? So, and now that class is broken. So anytime you go to that stage of HSW, you just pick the bike. That's how it's going to win. That's just all there is to it. But for this, the Sentinel XS is a perfect example of a car that was slow. It gets its HSW mods. It looks cooler. It's got all these extra things to it. It brings back a lot of nostalgia. People spend the extra money to upgrade the car. Now the car is either fastest or, a lot more competitive, and they get back into racing and drive it and have a much more enjoyable experience. It's like the the ZR350, the one that looks like the RX-7. That is another car that, if its handling sucks, it needs to be fixed because that's not anything like the way the RX-7 is. So have an HSW, suspension mod or something that helps its handling go up, and then have it throw in some power. And then, obviously HSW doesn't work for tuner cars, but I think is perfect. There you go. So you still have that tuner thing, so it still sucks there. Or you know what? Put it on par with some of the other cars. I don't know. There's options. But some of the stuff like the weaponized Ignis and the Devesta 8. Why does the Devesta 8 have HSW mods? That doesn't make any sense. I'm not even looking at times right now, just because we're doing 3 laps. We're just going to bust through it, and we'll get to sedans. I think with what we've learned so far, I think we just give it to the BF Club, because the BF Club, the HSW version, the S95 or whatever the heck, no, not the other one, maybe it's Briosa RA. That car is a squirrely mess, and that class is squirrely in general. So if this thing right here is as squirrely as it is now, it'll be undrivable. It won't even be worth watching. So that'll just leave us to the sedans, which will be the Reinhardt. And the thing is, I think the Shafter V12 being loose, I think that's just going to give the call to that. I think we've already learned that. But we don't know about that versus the Cinque Amelia. So, but this one right here has, this is something I would see. I've seen races with this. So, it's just too bad that they added the snow so late. I'm going to crash. Wow. Okay, so what do we got? That was third. Okay, so we got a second lap time. That's good. That should give us an idea of where we were. And that right there should tell you, that's going to happen. I wasn't even on the gas. It's like, I'm going to go around the corner and just crash. Yeah. still, this is an amazing car. I love it. I'm glad they brought HSW to it. Really brought me back to the Sentinel. I'm so happy to do the upgrades for it. Okay, so 1. $140. Okay. Hopefully we get... Yeah, Grape Seed's still here. I only got to do that 2 more times. See, I did a lot of testing on the side to figure out certain things in the game. And I can't wait to do the testing on them because it's going to prove a point. And I just think that's very interesting because I don't think people realize certain things about other classes when it comes to kind of out of sync racing. So if you said, hey, I want to do a race that I know I can win or I can be competitive in and, you know, sneak in a couple of wins without anybody really realizing it. There are ways to do it in the game. There's ways to find, you know, not just making your own track, which I see a lot of guys do, is I'm going to make my own track and then race it 1,000 times and then invite somebody in and make it stock so nobody knows what they're doing and get them all off balance. It's like kind of a noobish way of doing it. But if you take, for instance, going down and you say, okay, I'm going to do it as a sport, it's the sport class race. If you're going to do a sports class race with that, you're guaranteed to at least be competitive on your first race if you're a good racer, because some people won't get the easy sport. It's become more known now. A lot of people who have raced it before will say, hey, you know, I figured it out. I got it. And so they'll end up picking the right car. You can only last 1 or 2 races with it. But there's a way to do it in other classes. Buffalo STX, for instance, versus the, you know, whatever the sport is, like the Vigoro or the Weevil. Different kind of thinking. I think some people might be ahead of that, though, but there's variations of that in pretty much every class. Not so much the coupes here, because I think that's pretty straightforward. But, like we were saying here, like this Peruvian might be able to beat, and it actually feels so solid that that it might actually be able to beat the other car. She needs a 140. Yeah, 140. So yeah, it already did the 140 on its first lap. So if it can do the 140, then wow, that HSW car is useless, or we shouldn't use it, you know. And if it destroys it here, we know exactly where we stand. And I already can see where it's going to go. I think I could have set this to 2 laps and I'd have been fine. Man, I got so much editing to do. It's so painful. I got to get ahead of everything. There's so much stuff behind about what I did. I was sick for pretty much all of November, which was just... it was rough. And then to go into December thinking I'm going to hit the ground running, and then come into December, and I got my doctor's appointment the other day, and I finally I was up to speed, so I was really happy about that. So I was able to come back, do some videos, kind of slowly inch in and do the the testing video with, I think, the Drauger, and then do the one with the other one, and then we have the 10F coming up, and then the Tahoma Coupe, which was easily one of the most enjoyable cars I've ever driven. It's just so sad. Remember we were talking before about a car that needs an HSW upgrade. There you go. But yeah, that's a perfect example of just such a well-handling, well-mannered car that I just would have so much fun driving. No, I will recover. Thank you. There we go. Previan. So much fun. Absolutely one of my favorite cars. And it was so... this is what I'm talking about with the coupe class. HSW comes in, throws a wrench into the works. HSW is now the fastest. I'll just turn it off. Like, I don't care, because I'm driving my Previan. This Previan is so awesome. I love the tuner class stuff. Such potential with these. And the beauty is that if you can come in here and race on snow, a lot of these guys that, you know, talk a big game or whatever, they won't come in on this. They won't race on snow. They want to protect their win-losses. They just come right in here and have a blast beating up on people. Is this my third lap, I hope? Yes, it is. Okay, what are we at? 140, was it? Come on, go, 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 go. We got you. Yeah, 5 seconds ahead. No, 37. So a car that would normally be like 5-6 seconds ahead is now behind. That's so funny. Previan, he's just covered in snow. Okay, so the last two, I kind of changed my mind again. Oh, we don't have it. We got to go back out and find it. The first is going to be the Reinhardt. And the second, Schafter V12. I don't know if I'll do the other one. I gotta find out. Maybe I don't have the juice to do it. Maybe I just want to go do my regular races. I don't know. I don't freaking know. Just get off my back about it, please. But yeah, I think we all know what's gonna end here. You know what? We'll do it 2 laps. Do sedans. I think we'll know pretty much right off the bat. So it's Reinhardt, Cinque Amelia, Schafter V12. Okay, this car wants to compete. Let's do it. 2 laps of the Cinque Amelia, 2 laps of the Reinhardt. 2 laps of the Schafter V12. My dude is punching through the roof of the car. He is so excited. Let's do it. Let's do it. Two laps of pure and unadulterated glory. And I am not a fan of the Cinque Amelia. I think it is just junk. And I like the nose of it too. I want that other car that came out. The last ones, it's like the first car that came out with the e-tron or whatever. That was a cool looking car, and it sucks performance wise, and it's so bad. I was like, I want that car to work. Like, it's so fun looking, and the Cinque could be so much better looking, and it just doesn't. It definitely looks like a GTA, like one of those 16-year-olds, 13-year-olds, or whatever the heck they are that's not supposed to be playing the game. But put this thing together, and it's like dollar bill rims, y'all. So squeak your way to victory with the Cinque Amelia. There's your tagline. Let's see how brakes work. No rotation whatsoever. Sad Cinque Amelia. I don't even know what that was. I hate that. My record is 114, and we're not even close to it. Looks like most cars are doing around 140s with the snow on, which is very interesting how they're all very even. Maybe we'll have discovered some secret gaming technology. Oh, handled that much better than I thought it was gonna. Kind of just threw it and then just was like, okay, we want to straighten up now. The funny thing is even though I dislike this car, I would not buy one in real life. If it was real life, I'd be like, yeah, I'll take this. So bad. One day I'm going to be in, you guys are going to be looking at me. I'm going to be driving a Lamborghini, and you guys are going to be like, why is he still playing GTA? And I'm like, because that's what I do. This is who I am. I do not apologize. I do not do anything. I have fun, and this is how I have fun. I do not care about all that other stuff. I got to stop caring about win-losses, all that other stuff. Just, I did that with the tuner thing, and it was really good. I got first place in Tunerland, and then something happened, and GTA decided to, I'm just going to say, screw me up and pull me off the top series and drop me down to 4 for no reason based on their stuff. So I just don't care anymore. My character's in Wikipedia. Yours isn't. And I would love for your character to be in Wikipedia too, if you tried hard. In fact, there are people I would actually suggest right now. Yeah, it really does. Sometimes it gets your heart broken because you get these guys that, some of the best racers out there, and you get people that they're just going to glitch their way to victory. That's fine. But you get these guys that are very humble, that teach skills that help everybody else out, driving, and just not a care in the world. Like, I'll say it too. Like, if you've ever seen the racing we did, go back and look at them. If you ever see the guy Montana's a perfect example of somebody who will say, here's what you do. You do this, and you do this. And I'm not saying you're going to win. I'm just saying that, you'll do okay. And you got to work on your apexes and this other stuff. But this car will help you get there. And you can kind of like just listen to his thing. And it's very simple. So it doesn't make it hard to figure it out. And that's really cool. Okay. So there you go. These guys are in order. Okay, so before we even start this one, I'm calling the Reinhardt right now. I'm just going to say it. I haven't raced this. I have not tested it before I tested right now. I say between the Schafter V12 and the Reinhardt that the Reinhardt is going to ruin the Schafter V12's history. It is going to just say, it is time to sit back and get a drink because I'm going to walk this track like nobody's ever walked it before. Can already tell this thing is so balanced. And for a station wagon too. I mean, come on. How many people... The idea that you have a station wagon in the game that can actually be competitive is so much of a score. Got aftermarket upgrades. Yeah, this thing's it. I'm in 100%. And it's funny because it's going to act like a sedan, but it just doesn't act like a sedan. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. Look at that. It just slid right into place. Like lock and key. It had it going. It was ready to be there. Support the cause. There we go. What's the first lap going to be? 136 was the Cinco Mania, so. Oh, I late brake there. No, come on. We're correcting it. There you go. Ooh, the sync was a 136, but I'm not taking this lap well, so we're not going to do that again. The brakes behind it, that needed a lot of brake. That's going to hurt it. Can you imagine if the Cinco Mania wins? I'm going to be devastated. It's going to ruin my whole existence. Point it at victory. Let's do this. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm sitting here, instead of just doing my quarter throttle or half throttle, I'm like push it, push it, push it. Maybe we can kind of hoof it into place. Yeah, right there. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so I misjudged the braking on that other one pretty badly. I don't know if it was not paying attention or I actually just hit the brakes and they didn't work. So that's where I'm in. That's where I'm in trouble. If the right brakes don't work, then it wasn't my fault, but they're right here. Okay, the brakes aren't all that good, but that's okay. That was definitely before. I'm gonna say it's a mix of the two, but I'll take more blame because I definitely just missed that point badly. But we're gonna have 135. 136. Oh my gosh, it's close. Definitely 136. The other one was sinking me. It was 449. Oh, what does he got? What does he got? What does he got? 147. Yeah. That was nice. That's what I needed to see. That made my life feel better. Okay, we got one race to go. Shafter V12. I'll let you guys figure out what the best SUV is. It's like the whole stream started off weird when it's like no battery. Had to change the batteries with a thing. I jumped the gun because I'm going to rush to start. I hate that. I just got to slow down. Take the pace. Not everything is a race, even though I think it is. Shafter. I'm telling you, this car, it's going to, I love the Shafter. It's not going to be. So off-road's the Drauger, done. Compacts, BF Club, we already know that. And so this is the last one. And remember, on motorcycles is going to be the Hakuchou drag. And then when the new bike comes out, if the snow is still here when that comes out, there's a good chance, not the one that they just brought out, I don't think. There's a good chance that there's another bike thing that's going to happen that is going to be the best. And new SUV. So the new SUV is going to be very competitive. So that's one you got to look out for. So we got a 136. Yeah, 136.147, if my awful memory serves correctly. I don't know. The shaft is going a lot faster than I thought it was going to. It is definitely squirrely though. Like, it does not want to stay straight. Like, going over the hill there, it's like I'm going to catch enough snow, and I got to kind of walk into that turn. And then right here, we're going to have to get a little bit on the brakes. It's going to be interesting to see how the brakes handle, and these two 90-degree turns are kind of like I call it double back, but the double back turns will handle it. Like, I can kind of short there, but you can see it still does not want to grip. Ooh, that almost ended badly. I literally took a molecule off of that corner guardrail there. Yeah, I'm glad I got off the gas there, because you could see the back end wanting to slide around. Okay, we're going to brake a little early here because I don't trust it. Even though it is a sport, which is weird, but it is brokenly fast. Back in the day, this was, I'm going to say, the perfect sport. 136, 137, okay, 140. That's kind of what we did in the last two cars, too, so they were very closely matched. It's going to be interesting what we get here when we get some motion going. It's kind of just letting its natural evolution kind of take over, because it's It's like having a sport in the sedan class. So that was a little bit of a broken turn right there, but I think that was exactly how I should have done it. So we're gonna let that do its thing. So this is gonna be pointed at the problem and then apply full throttle and go for it. So yeah, so the Schafter V12 originally was very interesting, and it was something that a lot of these, like, kind of like, if you knew how to drive, it really applied the power really well, but it was more like driving a 9F that was a lot faster. Weirdly enough, that's kind of how the 10F is now. It's kind of a Schafter V12, like the same dynamic and everything, which kind of works out if you know what you're doing, but it still can be very disconcerting sometimes if you're like, okay, well, I'm going to do this, and that didn't work. All right, we killed that turn right there. That was probably the best I've taken that turn all night, and in the Schafter V12. 3, 4, 5. Oh, nope. That was a 36.7. I'm going to say 36.75. So that means in the snow, the most competitive class is really sedans. I'm really going to put that in you guys' hands because, yep. So yeah, the Schafter was even slower than the Sync. So that was that. But I'm going to put this, like I said, in your hands. I think somebody out there should have some sedan racing if you really want to be competitive and fun, even if it's just the 3 cars. It's worth running because it's just so close together. As you can see, this is the last car I was just testing. If you want a little bit of a hint, I am really torn on whether I want to keep the 10F or not. So it is what it is. Maybe I just keep it for now and call it a day, or maybe I sell it. I don't know. But testing for this will be up soon, and it was a fun test for me. And I don't want to give anything else away. But like I said, so go out, do your testing runs. If not, you guys know Buffalo STX. Let's see, what is it? Itali GTO. What else? There's a couple of cars in there. I don't know. If you don't see it on here, it's in the review here. And lastly, if you really want to be the guy on the street, the Reinhardt, who knew? It knows how to take the snow, and it was a blast doing it. So yeah, so thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to be back at some point with the testing. I have, like I said, 6-7 videos that I have to put on different channels. That has just been really crazy. So it's been fun. It's been great. It's been a great season. If I don't see you before then, I'll see you next year. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Later.